Welcome back to Limitless Mentality, where we discuss profound psychological truths to help you improve your life. Today, we're diving into 10 mental models smart people use that you've never heard of. These are powerful ways of thinking that aren't taught in school or even most self-help books, but they shape how high-level thinkers make decisions, solve problems, and stay calm under pressure. Once you learn these, you'll start to see the world in a completely different way. Number 1. The map is not the territory. We often mistake our version of reality for reality itself. But smart thinkers know that every belief, every opinion, and every perception is just a map, not the actual terrain. This idea comes from philosopher Alfred Korzybski, and it teaches us that our understanding of the world is always filtered through our biases, language, and past experiences. If you assume your perspective is the truth, you'll stop growing. But if you remind yourself that your view is just a version, not the whole picture, you open the door to learning, empathy, and better decision-making. Number 2. Chesterton's fence. Imagine walking through a field and seeing a random fence. If you don't know why it's there, your first thought might be to tear it down. But Chesterton's fence says, never remove a rule or system until you understand why it was put there in the first place. Smart people use this model to approach problems with humility. Just because something seems outdated doesn't mean it's useless. Systems, rules, even annoying habits often exist for a reason. Understand the why before you try to change the what. Number 3. Second-order thinking. Most people only think about what happens next. But smart thinkers go a step further. They ask, and then what? Second-order thinking is about predicting the ripple effects of a decision. For example, eating junk food feels good now. But what about next week? What about next year? Great decisions come from understanding not just the short-term result, but the long-term consequences most people ignore. Number 4. Inversion. Instead of asking, how can I succeed? Smart thinkers ask, how could I fail? Then they avoid those paths. This mental model, often used by Charlie Munger, flips your thinking. If you want a happy relationship, ask what destroys one. Neglect, dishonesty, resentment, and work to avoid those behaviors. Inversion is powerful because it helps you identify blind spots before they become real problems. Number 5. The Lindy Effect. This model says that the longer something has been around, the longer it's likely to stick around. Think about books, ideas, or traditions. A book that's been read for 500 years is more likely to be read in another 500 than one that came out last week. Smart thinkers use this to filter what's worth their time. They don't chase every new trend. They look for things that have stood the test of time, because those are the ideas with deep value. Number 6. Hanlon's razor. This model will save you a lot of stress. It goes like this. Never attribute to malice what can be explained by ignorance or error. In other words, people aren't always out to get you. They're often just distracted, tired, or unaware. If someone cuts you off in traffic, it might not be personal. If your friend forgets to text back, it might just be a bad day. Smart people use this to stay calm and avoid unnecessary drama. It helps you give grace without being naive. Number 7. The Law of Diminishing Returns. Doing more doesn't always mean getting more. At some point, the effort you put in stops giving the same reward. For example, working 40 hours might give you great results, but 80 hours. That extra time might not double your output. It might burn you out. Smart thinkers know when to push and when to pause. They understand that balance is more productive than obsession. Mastery comes from focused effort, not non-stop grinding. Number 8. Occam's razor. This one's all about simplicity. When faced with multiple explanations, the simplest one is usually correct. Smart people don't overcomplicate things. If you're trying to solve a problem, start by removing all the unnecessary pieces. Most problems become clearer when you strip away the fluff. Whether it's relationships, business, or personal growth, the simplest path is often the most effective if you're brave enough to trust it. Number 9. Survivorship Bias. We love success stories, but we often forget about all the failures that never got attention. Survivorship bias is the mistake of only looking at the winners. You see the entrepreneur who dropped out and made millions, but not the thousands who dropped out and failed. Smart thinkers ask, what am I not seeing? They look at the full picture, not just the highlight reel. This keeps their expectations grounded and their thinking realistic. Number 10. Circle of Competence. This one is deceptively simple. Know what you know and know what you don't. Smart people don't try to be experts in everything. They double down on what they're good at and stay humble about the rest. Warren Buffett uses this model in investing, but it works in everyday life too. If you're not great at fixing cars, don't pretend to be. Learn what you can, but don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Confidence grows when it's built on self-awareness, not ego. Most people rely on gut feelings, guesswork, or what they've always done. But smart thinkers use mental models like these to see the world more clearly. They're not just reacting. They're thinking in layers, slowing down their assumptions, and making decisions that actually hold up over time. These models aren't flashy, but they're powerful tools for anyone who wants to live with more clarity, calm, and confidence. Which of these mental models surprised you the most? And which one do you think could make the biggest difference in your life right now? If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more eye-opening insights. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and stay limitless.